Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this week's episode of She's All That podcast. And this is where we speak about business once a week. Today I'm going to speak about, I'm Hannes, by the way. I'm going to speak about the entrepreneur mindset. So I'm going to start off with a story for you. It's called The Shoes. You might have heard this story before, and it illustrates the difference between positive thinking and negative thinking. So many years ago, two salesmen were sent by a British shoe manufacturer to Africa to investigate and report back on market potential. The first salesman reported back, "There is no potential here, nobody wears shoes." But the second salesman reported back, "There is massive potential here, nobody wears shoes." So the simple short story provides one of the best examples of how a single situation may be viewed in two quite different ways, negatively or positively. And we could explain this also in terms of seeing a situation's problems and disadvantages instead of its opportunities and benefits. So, in current times, a lot of businesses are affected by the pandemic, no doubt. We see businesses close, but we also see lots of opportunities that people might have missed before. And those who are already running their business, who might have had to close down, might have had to make losses, but this could be a new step to growing a new business to make more profit in the future. Yes, it is not easy if you are, especially if you're hard hit and you had to let go of your staff and you had to make a lot of sacrifices to your own home personal life. But all things are manageable. You just have to see how to plan your way towards a better life. So, what can we learn from having an entrepreneur, and what can we do to be more entrepreneurial? Um, in summary, there are 20 traits that you would be familiar with: independence, responsibility, abundance, being goal oriented. You're not afraid of failure, you're growth oriented, you seek feedback, you want to learn, you're forward thinking, you're self accepting and self aware, you're collaborative, you're courageous, you're comfortable with discomfort, you're adaptable, you can solve problems, you're driven and tenacious, you're focused, you're action oriented, and you're decisive. So I'm going to go into further detail about these traits, which you would have had, maybe not all, but you can harness these traits and make yourself a better entrepreneur. So, here's the thing: anyone can develop the mindset of a successful entrepreneur. As the founder of Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." So, what are you going to do about it? So there are many reasons why an entrepreneurial mindset matters. For example, to develop an entrepreneurial mindset can help to reduce doubt, fear, and anxiety. It can also help you to drive action, focus, and growth. And so, how do you become, for the first trait, more independent? In entrepreneurs in general don't really follow the crowd. They listen to their gut and carve their own path. They don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out their inner voice. So even Steve Jobs of Apple once said, "Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. You're responsible for your own life. We don't blame others for the situation that you're in. So you empower yourself by taking responsibility to improve the situation that you're in. Failure, success, or life circumstances doesn't matter. Even if something isn't your fault, take responsibility for it, and you are empowered to improve it. Abundance. We sometimes feel that there's not enough to go around, but actually, if you look for an opportunity, there's always something that you can work on that will work for you and bring you more opportunities. So be more open to ideas, be generous, with your time, and understand that you get what you give. The sky is always the limit. Robert Kiyosaki, if you're familiar with him, he's an author, an entrepreneur, Rich Dad Poor Dad. He wrote, "I've never met a rich person who has never lost any money, but I've met a lot of poor people who have never lost a dime." So which is better? Being another trait to look for is being goal oriented. You don't just wish and dream, but you make plans and have smart goals, the specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive goals, so that you know when you have met a certain goal to go to the next goal and the next goal and the next goal. You're not afraid of failure. This is trait number 5. We we don't fear failure, we actually appreciate it because we learn from it, we learn from mistakes, and it makes it helps you grow faster, it helps you move closer to success. And as the famous inventor Thomas Edison said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." So failing at something certainly doesn't mean that you're a failure, just that something didn't work out as you hoped, and you need to try again, try and try and try again, and adapt. The next trait, being growth oriented. Sometimes, entrepreneurs feel that they know everything already. There's nothing more to learn. But there are actually two types, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Someone with a fixed mindset believes that who they are is relatively permanent and they cannot change, which is untrue. As human beings, we are able to change with times. It's just whether you're willing to or not. Okay? Your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development because success is something you attract by the person you become. In other words, personal growth tends to create success. So keep trying to improve yourself. Another trait, feedback seeking. Most entrepreneurs aren't worried about looking cool or smart. They just want to succeed and make sure they make money from it or whatever goals they want to achieve. Sometimes money is not the end goal, it's just a means to the end. And most of the time, entrepreneurs don't think about making money so much, but yeah, the business needs to have money to run and needs the money to fit its purpose, to meet its goals. So why waste time proving and over again or showing how great you are when you could be actually be getting better? Seek feedback on how to do this. Number 8, learning oriented trait. Most times, people in general seek entertainment, whether it's social media, watching Netflix, binging on series, hanging out, and wasting time. So, usually, entrepreneurs, what they do instead of, yeah, they might spend some time on entertainment, but they also want to improve. So, they take online courses, workshops, they spend hours tweaking their sales funnel, making sure that customers are always coming in, and instead of scrolling through social media and wasting time in reading lots of cat stories like I do sometimes, entrepreneurs are more likely to listen to motivational podcasts or read business books, or even now the new app where a lot of business leaders are on, which is Clubhouse. Currently just on Apple phones, but hopefully soon on Android. Formal education will make you a living, but self education will make you a fortune. So keep learning. Another trait would be to be forward thinking. You're not always thinking about the now, you're not always thinking about current rewards. Successful entrepreneurs know that big goals take a long time to achieve, not overnight, like sometimes we perceive entrepreneurs to be. We see success stories and think that they come instantly, but in fact, they have been taking years and years of growing and building and rebuilding and adapting to be where they are today. So if I want to do this, I need to do that. They entrepreneurs have a way to reverse engineer every step of the way. They start with their goal and then they work backward. So when they decide, I want this, I need to do that. To do that, I need to do this. They are very specific in their steps and they're patient when it comes to rewards. Next trait, self self accepting. Many people struggle with self acceptance, but with a mindset, you can always change and improve. So accept yourselves, warts and all, pimples and wrinkles and everything, and know that you're transient. You're becoming the person you want to be. Okay? Being collaborative. There is an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Work together with other people with skills that you don't have and harness on those skills so that you can work together towards a bigger goal. Trait number 13. 12. Sorry. Being courageous. You The famous management consultant Peter Drucker said, whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision, a risk that people might not have seen or might not have dared to take. Right? So learn to be courageous and don't be afraid of fear and conquer it rather. The next trait, being comfortable with discomfort. Sometimes you need to move beyond your comfort zone. Sometimes you, like now, for example, like you think your business is not going anywhere, you're stuck. Movement controls are restricting your movements. You can't do this, you can't do that. What can you do? What can you do for your neighborhood? Look closer to what you can do, and it might not be with what you have been doing before. It could be something that you have never done before, but you know that people are needing that service. So try something new and go out there and just put yourself on the line and see if it works or not. If it doesn't matter. Do something else. Be adaptable and solve the problem. If you think about it, that is the essence of every business. You are solving somebody's problem. Plumbers fix broken pipes. Fisherman puts food on the table. Netflix cures boredom. Repairman repairs cars so you can move around. So look at essential goods, maybe things that people need to solve a problem that they have. Be driven. Mark Cuban said, "It's not about money or connections. It's about the willingness to outwork and outlearn everyone when it comes to your business." Right? The next trait would be being focused. Never procrastinate and always prioritize the most important task and the task you think that is the most difficult. Ask yourself, what will this do to help me achieve my long-term goals? Will this help my long-term goals? If the answer is yes, what is the most important thing to do right now? Be action oriented. Entrepreneurs read lots of books, watch lots of videos, and make plans, but they never actually do the work. So start doing the work and being decisive. Sometimes you cannot decide what to do when you're faced with so many things, so many decisions to make. You need to confront these problems and make decisions every day. And what you can do is know that you can always edit a bad page. You can't edit a blank page. Right? So practice decisiveness. And next time you're in a restaurant, look at a menu once and decide with confidence what you want. And then you can even decide what you want before even stepping into the restaurant. So that's it. And that's it for this week. I hope you have learned something. And if you have, do share this podcast with your friends. And if you have feedback or you would like to discuss a certain topic, you would like us to discuss, do reach out to us. We're open for business and open for ideas. So that's me, and I'm Hanis, and I'm signing out. Have a great week. Thank you for listening to She's All That.